Migration crisis in Italy and the refugees crisis started recently. The last summer, so 2015, was the very hot moment for the refugee crisis. As we know, there are wars and conflicts all around the Mediterranean area and also in the eastern part of Europe. But for what concerns the Mediterranean and Italy, we know that the war in Afghanistan and the crisis of Syrian refugees, but also in Eritrea and Ethiopia, have been at the core of the last refugee crisis. There is a huge debate in the Italian landscape, not only institutions, so government and the European institution, but also the Catholic Church and the emerging new leader for the future elections. So it's a very core issue, and it has been used as a means of political conflict between parties. The Church also has been put in this landscape and used from other parties, above all the North League, so the more xenophobic and racist party. At the same time, we have to understand that also the government of North of Africa, so the Saharan government and the government involved in the wars in the Mediterranean area are using the migrants to push the European Union to change the policies or to change the power relationship with the European Union. So in some way, the refugee crisis is also an object of humanitarian issue, so it's a political issue. At the same time, it's a way to spectacularize the arrival of migrants across the Mediterranean. So it's a kind of field of battle, I would say, from the political point of view. There are not only institutions fighting on the migrant issue, but there are also associations, grassroots movements, and also groups linked to the church from a territorial point of view, who have created spaces for hosting all these migrants. So do not leave the migrants in the street, or do not leave them in the hosting places that are created by the governments, but to host them in more welcoming places. And this it is a very important step forward, because there are new practices from the local point of view of a small coalition of residents, of association, of social spaces, of self-managed spaces that help the migrants and create a space of discussion about migration and also a space of help for migrants there. Another important element, that is the spectacularization of the migrants. These migrants are considered as humanitarian objects. That is something that the movements and social organizations are trying to fight. Migrants are not only the victims, the poor victims who are unarmed and not able to be protagonists of their life, but they are very protagonists, they're very active. So it's very important for social movement to highlight the activity, the protagonism of the migrants and their desires.